Morning guys, Swazes here. A disclaimer, no investment advice provided. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Please read the disclaimer in your own time. Right guys, I thought I'd do a quick, just another quick little video for everyone on Twitter who's interested in these stocks and how they move. Excuse me. Right, so it's 8:31 a.m. and the markets are open. And shall we pick a few and see uh, what is looking popular and what is creating Twitter action? Yeah. So we'll have a look at UCOG, I think, shortly. Maybe GDR. We'll have a quick look at maybe Orphan, and a few other ones. We'll make it relatively quick. We won't make a big long video. But yeah, there's a lot of activity going on in the market, especially with a lot of these, let's just say, stocks that are related to the bug. All right, so yeah, there's a lot of activity around them, and a lot of stocks that are involved in ore, copper, gold, resources, that sort of stuff seem to be very very bullish. Let's uh, let's get to the chart, shall we, and have a look and see what's going on. All right. See MSN still in its lovely little trend, by the way. We can see that lovely little uptrend, top of the channel. But we covered MSMN yesterday. Should we have a quick look at SYME? That's not a bad idea, is it, as well? Because I know that's quite a popular little mover. Right. So what we've got is we've got SYME on the daily, still in its descending asymmetrical triangle. Right. So the macro market state, which is the big picture on the daily chart, right? Every candle is a day of trading, is classed as a range because the market's just going up and down. It's not a trend. This is not a trend. It's not an uptrend and it's not a downtrend. So you have to know what you're looking at, right? You have to know the rules of the game before you can play, in my opinion. All right, guys. So the macro market state on SYME is still in a trend, still in a range in market state, and its current pattern that it's currently locked into is this descending triangle. So I've got it price alerted, and I'm waiting for a breakout. I'm waiting for a breakout. I'm excited about it because of the market structure, the potentiality of it wanting to return to its all-time high, and I've seen this move played out thousands of times before in the markets. All markets move the same, right? This is why it's a system. This is why I don't read the news. This is why I don't bother with RNS. I know it might sound insane to a lot of you guys, but I don't read RNS. I don't read the news, and I'm not influenced by anybody on Twitter. I'll take an interest if it's strong fundamentals, like for example, Afzal, who's like probably one of the best fundamental guys on Twitter, in my opinion. I'll obviously look at his fundamentals because he's a fundamentals technician, right? And I'm not dismissing strong fundamentals. I'm talking about rampers and retweeters and news inverted commas, right? I don't get swayed by emotional uh, constructs because the market is not based on emotions, right? So you got to fight fire with fire, in my opinion, right? So the market is a system, right? It's an algorithmic system, right? Which is past data predicts future moves, right? So I have to use a system of equal proportions, right? If I'm explaining myself properly, I have to use a script, an anti-script to their script, so I can decode their language, right? And we're certainly not going to decode it with emotion, with emotion and wild abandonment. It just won't work, right? It's like trying to mix oil with water. It will not work. So this is a system. So I have to employ a system, right, to decode it. It's as simple as that. It's a language, right? I don't speak French. So if anyone's talking to me in French, even though it might sound sexy and alluring, right, and all the rest of it, I don't understand the word they're saying, right? So it's the same with the markets, guys. It's a language, it's a code, it's the matrix, and we have to decode it. And I use a system of technical analysis that I have tweaked and perfected over the years through thousands and thousands and thousands of hours of training, charting, failing, losing, right, over the years, and to a system which I've refined, and it works pretty well, all right? Not financial advice. This is my own opinions, and I'm talking about the technical analytics perspective because I find it fascinating. It's a real passion of mine. So I'll get off my soapbox. SYME is still in its asymmetrical descending triangle, and we are patiently waiting for a breakout. All right, let's have a quick look at UCOG, shall we, guys? Because there's a lot of chatter on Twitter about UCOG. Right, so we'll turn to UCOG. Now, interestingly enough, if you check my tweets, right, with UCOG, right, I was tweeting about UCOG back in early September, as you can see here. I think my earliest tweet was 8th of September. Will today be the day it closes over a 2-year downtrend? So what we did with our system of technical analysis, right, guys, is that back here, 8th of September, with this system that I use, I detected that this stock had changed its market state, right? Now, a market state is, it was trending down, yeah? For those of you guys that don't necessarily understand what a market state is, it was trending down. It was a 2-year downtrend, right? So if we look on the daily chart with UCOG, right, we'll see that this particular market state started like July 2018. You can see that, right? So that's how long it was trending down for. Now with my system and with my decode script, yeah, I found that it broke. Now listen, right? Listen up, everybody. The market makers, the dealers, and the elites know what they're doing well before us guys know what's happening. And us guys are the retail investors, right? We are the guys. We are the passengers in the car. We don't own the car, right? The market makers own the car and drive the car. We are simply passengers. Why? Because we do not have the resources to move the markets, right? Doesn't even matter if you got £1,000,000, right? That won't make a dent. So we're passengers in the car, right? And I detected as a passenger, right, metaphorically speaking, that the dealers had changed the market state back on the 8th of September. Why? Because they're up to something, right? They are up to something, right? This is why I don't need to read RNS. This is why I don't need rampers and retweeters. I have my charts, and my charts pretty much give me everything that I need to know. And they're up to something. So what they did was they broke this downtrend, this 2-year plus downtrend, right, with this consolidation move. Now, a consolidation is a ranging market state, but on a narrower price bandwidth, right? So they broke it, and they're up to something. And I don't know what they're up to yet, but they're definitely up to something. So we've got it price alerted, we've got it charted, we've got it bagged, we've got it tagged. All right. What else shall we have a look at? What about N4P? That's an interesting little mover, isn't it? Another farmer stock. N4P. Let's have a quick look, guys. Because I've noticed some interesting things with this mover as well. So what we've got, guys, on the daily chart, we've got N4 Farmer PLC in a nice little uptrend. It's been in a nice, and I say a nice little uptrend. It's a little bit of a, it's quite volatile, but to me, this stock's moving up, right? It's trending up in the macro market state. Now, if we zoom into local action, right, what we've got, right, you see all these fancy little patterns and everything, yeah? Well, it helps me decode, this stuff helps me decode with the system of TA that I employ and also teach, because we have Swayze's Charts Discord, which is absolutely flying now, creating a real community of like-minded individuals who want to learn how this stuff works. And by the way, we don't use indicators, yeah? I use EMAs, but we don't need MACDs, Piff Daddies, Fibonacci replacement umbrellas, whatever they're called, right? We don't need them and we don't use them, right? It might seem a little radical to a lot of people out there that rely on indicators, but indicators are not needed. EMAs are great, That's the only indicators we use. But anything else, we don't need them. Why? Because we use price action, and price is king when you're trying to predict how the markets are going to move. So N4P, right? So what it's doing, it's been bouncing around at the bottom level of this support for quite a while now, as we can see, playing its little games, right? So it's consolidating along lower supports, right? But it's also in a descending triangle. So what happens with the markets, guys, is that they will get locked into these patterns, and it's not just one pattern. There's various different patterns governing how price moves and reacts, and it's taking it into a funnel, right? Price does not move in a linear fashion. I keep saying this over and over again. It's taking it into a funnel, if you like, and it will squeeze between buying and selling forces, and then it will make its move. It's like cooking. It's like baking a cake. We don't cook cakes, right? We bake cakes. You got to have the right ingredients, the right temperature, the right pressure, and the right time. This is why we only use the daily and the 4-hour chart for these specific strategies, because we're not day trading. Even though I do know how to day trade, that's a separate conversation for another time. But this is like baking a cake, right? So this is what's going on with N4P. Shall we have a quick look at, but incidentally, with N4P, if it does break out to the upside, which hopefully it will do, right? We've got some lovely market structure up ahead. And I like what I'm seeing on the charts. There's some nice continuation patterns that have been forming as well. Okay, it's resisted. It's kind of resisting. At the minute, we've got a little bit of resistance here, as we can see, but we need to see it resist a potential head and shoulders reversal. And there's a few other things that we're looking at, but yeah, N4P. I like what I'm seeing with it at the moment. I really do. Should we have a quick look at if my chart wasn't freezing up, guys? Which my chart is currently freezing up. Should we have a quick look at ODX? All right, interesting, right? So, will this be the day that ODX breaks free from its asymmetrical descending wedge? I don't know, guys. They are quite tricky. I personally feel that price needs to react with these lower levels. It might not. It might want to break out. Sometimes it needs to touch a few times before it has the momentum to break out. There's still a little bit of this triangle to go. Let's see, we've got a price alert above. This is the daily chart that we're looking at, right? So it's still in its asymmetrical descending wedge formation. Let's see what happens, right? Price might want to break free, or it might want to interact. Look, the dealers and the market makers can do whatever they want, right? This is not financial advice. This is just my opinion on how I see the markets move, right? For all we know, right, they might want to drop it to who knows what, but I don't think that's going to happen. Don't think it's going to happen with ODX. Let's see what happens. We need a little bit of patience. The market makers go to the beat of their own drum, not ours. Don't forget that, guys. Don't forget that. And what should we do? Should we have a quick look at Orphan just before we call this a morning? All right, guys. My computer's freezing up. Here we go. Right, okay, brilliant. This is the daily chart. As we know, we've been following this stock for quite a while now. It's still in its triangle. As we can see, it's got some nice support here. We've got market structure, which I think will break through the all-time high of 32.4 or whatever it was. I think that Orphan's going to start wanting to test 39.40 plus P on the daily chart in the median turn. It might take until early to mid next year before it gets those prices, but who knows? It's looking very interesting with Orphan. As we know, we detected the new channel not so long ago, and I'm pretty confident that this channel will hold. Let's see what happens. All right, it's looking bullish, and there's a lot of bullish activity in the markets in general. I'll post this chart, this video on Twitter. Sorry if it's gone on a little bit long. I'm really grateful for you guys' comments and your interests. You seem to enjoy these videos, and I'll try and make a few more. If you're interested in our Discord, guys, yeah, the lifetime offer will be coming to an end soon, and then we're going to probably go to a different annual pricing system. So let me know if you want to take advantage of the annual offer. It's coming to an end soon. Send me a DM. We're really growing the Discord now, and people are genuinely interested in upping the game, learning new knowledge that can assist them in seeing how the markets move, right? So have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your morning. Have a nice cup of tea. Have a cup of coffee. Put your feet up if you can, and let's watch the plays of the markets until the rest of the trading day.